New leadership for the school board of RPS 205 during a special meeting Tuesday. A new vice president, and new secretary were voted in.
Paul Carpenter will serve in the top board position for the next 4 years, along with Nicole Bennett as his second in charge. Bennett, who was first elected to the board in 2023, says she's gained plenty of experience so far in her 2 years in the position. She hopes to carry that experience into her role as vice president. Carpenter says he wants to ensure the community is in the know, especially with the upcoming search for a new superintendent.
It's a pretty important, pivotal time in the Rockford Public Schools with the search for the new superintendent starting next summer of 2026. And so I want to make sure that we're meeting with all the community members on that and make sure our communication is good.
We want to make sure that we engage the community. We have listening sessions, focus groups. We're going to talk to staff and students and community members and really make sure that it's an opportunity for everybody to have a voice.